Oh, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Beam Global's channel, a clean technology leader providing innovative, sustainable products and technologies for electric vehicle charging, energy storage, energy security, and outdoor media. Joining us to discuss, Desmond, the Chief Executive Officer. So first and foremost, welcome, sir.
It's great to be here. Thanks very much for your time.
And a pleasure to get you on. So we're going to dive right into this for newer investors, newer audiences. Do you want to give us that brief elevator pitch into Beam Global's products, the business, and just kind of let us know what's going on with the operations?
Yeah, it's like we're a San Diego-based sustainable technology innovation company. It's a bit of a mouthful, I'll grant you, but what that means is we actually invent, design, engineer, and then manufacture renewable and renewably energized and sustainable products for three market verticals. And those are, number one, the electrification of transportation. That's by far the biggest areas of focus for us, a very exciting new era for the country and for the globe, frankly. And we produce a unique set of products solving problems in that space. Second one is energy security, by which we simply mean a more reliable source of electricity than that which you get from the utility grid, which is, of course, prone to blackouts and brownouts. Our products continue to provide electricity when the power goes down, whether that's due to weather or nefarious nation-state activity or terrorism or whatever else. We keep the vital electrons flowing. And then the third one is a bit of a strange bedfellow, actually, but it's outdoor media. And by that, actually, the way we play in that is we simply provide a platform that others can put outdoor media on to monetize usually the electrification of transportation. It's another way of making money charging electric vehicles.
Yeah, I appreciate these insights. When we come back, we're going to deeper explore these different verticals. We'll kind of dive into the investor presentation. So if you're interested in that, consider subscribing. But I want to ask you, I mean, you joined Beam as a consultant in 2010 when it was Envision Solar and served as the company's CEO since 2011. What in your history kind of led up to that aha moment for you getting involved?
I had just come back from the Middle East, as a matter of fact. I'd spent several years over there doing some stuff that, frankly, I'm really happy that I'm kind of doing much better things nowadays with this company. And I was introduced by some of the leading investors at the time to try and help the company move forward. And I really wasn't intending to spend very long with Envision Solar. It was a kind of a short-term gig. That's why I took it on as a consultancy, again, having just come back from Saudi Arabia. But I'll tell you what happened. I saw this electrification of transportation thing taking place. Electric vehicles are just the most magnificent gadgets, and we all know that consumers love gadgets, will do anything to get their hands on them, and there's probably no better gadget than an electric vehicle. But the thing is, there's no charging infrastructure out there. It's taken 130 years to get all the gas stations in the world. Now we're going to need to replace that infrastructure with electric vehicle fueling infrastructure, but we're not going to have 130 years to do it. We're going to have to get it done in a couple of decades. And so what I got very excited about was this idea of coming up with a fleet of products which were rapidly deployed and highly scalable, which didn't require construction, which didn't require connection to the utility grid, and therefore no permitting or environmental impact studies. So in a way, you could think of us as sort of the Henry Ford of the electric vehicle charging infrastructure industry. You know, when Henry Ford came along, cars were projects and they were all bespoke and handmade. That's like digging trenches and pouring concrete and pulling cables. We've come up with a fleet of products which are which replace the requirement for any type of construction or electrical work or any of the other stuff that takes a long time and is risky and increasingly expensive. That's what got me so excited. This idea of taking renewable energy and putting it directly into electric vehicles without having to go through construction and electrical work seemed like a real winner from an energy security point of view, from an economic security point of view, and from a technology advancement point of view as well.
I love the passion. I feel like this is very mission driven. Do you want to talk a little bit about your team, board of directors, just anybody that's relevant that's kind of helping you captain the ship?
You know, we punch way above our weight on a whole bunch of different levels. The board of directors is a great place to start with that. Tony Posowatz, he's our lead independent director. Tony ran the electric vehicle program at General Motors. He took the Chevrolet Volt with a V from the whiteboard to the dealership. After that, he's basically an electric vehicle guru now. He travels all over the world, sits on several different boards, including Lucid's board, for example. And there's just nothing and nobody that he doesn't know in the electric vehicle space. So plus with his General Motors background, manufacturing, growing manufacturing, very helpful from that point point of view. Peter Davidson reported directly to President Obama on the energy administration. It doesn't matter what your politics are, reporting directly to a president is kind of a good experience to have had, especially on the energy administration. So he's very helpful from a government point of view. And we have a massive amount of government business. I mean, the US Army, for example, is our largest customer today. Marine Corps right behind them. New York City is the biggest municipal customer we have. State of California is the biggest state customer we have. So we do a lot of government work. And it's very helpful to have somebody who understands the underpinnings of that. Peter also has a private equity background and a fund management equity. So he's a really great mixture of government and commercial and finance as well. It's great to have him on the board. And then finally, Nancy Floyd. Nancy Floyd's our most recent ad, and she has a very long history of venture capital background, utility funding background, green funds, and then actually sits on the board of a publicly traded utility. So really, I mean, it's as I say, we punch way above our weight where that's concerned. Now, in the management team, you've got myself, the person that runs my marketing group, Sandra Peterson. She's an ex-Silicon Valley person, Apple marketing. I mean, I think having that kind of a pedigree involved in any of this sort of thing, particularly because a lot of people think that our products have a great deal of Apple about them in terms of the design and the way they interact with the consumer. Very helpful to have her. And then I have Kathy McDermott on as my CFO, and then operationally and from a point of view of scientists and technologists, I've got some of just the finest brains on the planet driving this thing forward. Why? Well, because the electrification of transportation is a $6 trillion market opportunity, according to Goldman Sachs. You know what? They're wrong. There'll be more than that. And we have the fastest deployed, lowest total of ownership, most robust product solution in the marketplace today. We make our own batteries, that American technology. We make our products in the United States. And we're just growing at a fantastic rate right now. I mean, I don't know of any other company that's got growth rates like we have at the moment. 548% year over year increase in sales in 2022 over 2021, and no end in sight.
I love how versed you are on your team and just the heavy hitters on board here. This is going to be a fascinating conversation to continue to dive into. So I'll pass the question off to the viewers. We'd love to know what you think in that comment section below. Consider subscribing because, again, as news comes down the wire, as we continue to explore this company, we're going to update you here. But on that, as always, we look forward to catching you in the next one.